NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by TheLines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. And we're looking at NBA Monday here with a ton of action as everybody's off there on Christmas Eve, the 24th. So we'll be taking a look at some best bets for the lines that we do have here for you on Sunday night, getting an early start on this action for you. Also have a player props episode up in a separate episode. So definitely want to make sure to subscribe to that page. Continue to follow along with us all season. Also still have the live, the promo is still live, I should say, for BetMGM. If you do not yet have a sportsbook account, do sign up using code TheLinesYT50. That'll get you up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet fails to cash, and you'll get $50 in bonus bets regardless. So nice little deal there if you don't yet have an account, and it's widely available, so I definitely recommend checking it out. But Nate, let's go ahead and jump right into your first best bet here for Monday.
Yeah, I'll take the points with the San Antonio Spurs in Philly, plus 5.5 at the moment, and I think maybe you sprinkle a little plus on a plus 180 money line here. It's not a Sixers team we can trust yet. I mean, like 2 wins over the Charlotte Hornets, not really great shakes here. And then they turn right around, of course, with Embiid sitting, get their doors blown off by a real team. It's the third game in 4 nights for everybody except Embiid, who I still don't really buy what I'm seeing with the numbers. Like he's posting his 30, he's getting his 30, he's getting his 128 offensive rating, whatever, but he's not impacting the game in any way like he was when he was an MVP 2 years ago, or when he was just, a scoring leader candidate and just a hugely impactful player on both ends. Like, I mean, the defense is not going to be there. And I mean, going head to head now with Wemby, he needed to score 70 for this team to beat Wemby's Spurs last January, right? And that was a absolute shootout. This one is trending under in terms of what people are betting. So obviously you'd rather have the dog there. And the Spurs, including that loss, they're otherwise 7-1 against the East in their last 8 opportunities. They've had a weird schedule where they haven't really had any Eastern Conference games so far this year. And then they did lose against the Bulls. I will throw that one out. I was trying to be on them in that one, I think, too. But that was, when Sohan just getting back into the lineup, and I think he's been huge as just like a glue guy, an energy guy, both ends, turning them into kind of an elite rebounding team, and a team that plays really together on offense. They have the number 1 assist rate in their last 5, winning 4 of their last 5 with Sohan off the minutes restriction. Philly's actually dead last in assist rate in that span. And the Spurs have been burned by teams that can dime up, and mostly by Western Conference teams, because that they've mostly been playing really good teams. So I mean, 9-3 overall, their last 12 with Wemby, 6-1 against the spread when they have a rest advantage. Like I said, it's third in 4 nights for the Sixers, and they have guys for you. Like for Maxey, Stephon Castle is going to be able to do a pretty good job there. They have lots of frisky wing defenders to deal with Paul George. And I just don't think Embiid can be Superman at all to blow this game open in any way. I mean, to be so efficient that a Chris Paul-led team can't be efficient right there with him in a low-scoring game and cover this 5. Like, I think you take the dog.
Yeah, no arguments with it. This is a team that's going to come to play. Wemby obviously being a huge factor, we presume, for them in this situation. And I think you'll probably see a little bit of help on Joel to kind of keep him out of the paint. But honestly, even if he can back Wemby down, you can't really put somebody 7'5" under the basket. Like, I don't even think his head fits. So he's going to at least have the opportunity to be taller and longer per usual. And yeah, I think you'll get some help on Joel. And then I don't know how Paul George fits into this offense when Joel Embiid is playing with him against not the Charlotte Hornets. And I think that'll be a problem that we'll see come to fruition here in this one. But I'm going to go ahead and get over to that Boston game. The Portland Magic, dude. That is just now Mo Wagner's out with the torn knee ligaments. It's just all bad. You got Jalen Suggs, who hurt his ankle on that play against OKC. He looks like he could play. It does seem like it's something that he has now enough time off since that happened last Thursday for him to be able to come back and get some legit minutes in this game. I would like him to play for me to take any props in this game because I don't trust it otherwise. I think it's going to be a massive blowout. And even if he does play, and even if he's somewhat hobbled, I don't think he's going to have the ability to score this team to victory. And I don't, maybe Cole Anthony's coming in to help. Whomever they now insert into the lineup in places that we're going to be occupied by, everybody that's missing for them. If Jalen Suggs is unable to go, there's going to be deficiencies now all over the place with Cole Anthony coming in. That is just a sieve on defense, et cetera, et cetera. So the thing here with Boston too is like if with Mo out too, I'm just kind of like, where are you going to get your size and ability to kind of be versatile alongside guys like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum? Obviously, I don't know. If you look at the last five without Franz, but with Mo and Suggs still out there, this team's minus 1.4 net rating, not bad, all things considered. You lose your top two players that are so key with like a 45% usage rate between them. It's gonna be tough to overcome that. But the thing that is the offense, and I think the way that this game is going to go is like maybe Orlando and their incredibly good 3-point defense is maintained. I mean, guys like if Jonathan Isaac's out there now for a solid, let's say 20 minutes, KCP, Anthony Black, Jalen Suggs, that's a very formidable 3-point defense against a very 3-point happy team, that the top 3-point shooting team in the league by volume and numbers and everything. So they can hang in that sense, but then they're just not going to have it on offense. And eventually those threes are going to start falling, and they'll have the ability to get inside with Kristaps in there as well. So yeah, there's just going to be a problem on offense in a way that I don't think a team, look, in the last five, the second lowest assist percentage alongside the 23rd in effective field goal percentage tells you this team it's hard for them to come by easy baskets. They've been getting some free throws to help them, but that's about it. There's too high of a percentage of their points off of those free throws. And the Celtics are very good at limiting stuff down low without fouling. If you want to drive into Kristaps, especially with Kristaps out there, they're playing at a very slow pace to try to overcome that. It's all just based on their defense without any really capacity to hang in any way with a team that's easily going to put up 115, in my opinion. And you've got this game in Orlando, right? And that's actually been where the Celtics have been scoring more points, is on the road this season than at home, playing a little bit better defense at home. But I don't think they're going to need to play that good a defense to just run away from the Magic in this one.
Yeah, because the Magic are not going to be able to keep this to their style, like you're saying, if they can't bang with them. This just reminds me, of something that happened last year, and I looked it up as you're talking. Like, remember when the Celtics dropped a game to the Lakers at home without LeBron or AD, February 1st? Then they
I
won
do.
20 of their next 22,
Yeah.
and so you don't get the immediate get back here after they lost to the Bulls when they were 15-point favorites, but because then they get a chance to turn right around and smack the Bulls. But I think they're going to pick up the intensity here after you drop a game like that and just handle business. And really, that's all you have to do against the Magic is come with that sharpness, because
Right.
right now
On
they can't
offense.
match. They can't
Yeah.
match what the Celtics can bring.
And to add to your point about the C's, like they actually came out really sluggish in the second game against the Bulls, and then ended up pulling away once they started hitting shots in the end of the second quarter into the second half. The momentum is definitely there, carrying them into this matchup.
Yeah, you love to see that with the second half carrying to the next one. Look, I think the Clippers, there's a good chance that they check out here. So Clippers at Grizzlies, give me the Grizz -5. Give me some Harden unders as well. If he's supposed to be the one to carry this team, I like the Memphis Grizzlies' chances with him looking at this like 4-day break over Christmas and whatever he's planning to do. And he's been slowing down anyway due to the extreme workload. I mean, in December, only averaging like 50. Yeah, his numbers are way down here in December. But importantly, in this matchup, the last three against Memphis, 12 points per game on 28% splits. The Clippers have actually won all three of those games thanks to Paul George and Kawhi being in the lineup, thanks to Ja being out, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
thanks to Memphis not having their full squad at all. And damn, do they have the squad right now? I mean, they are maybe the hottest team in the league, and especially at home, 12 of their last 13 with a plus 16 net, fresh off a 50-point beatdown of the Warriors, where Ja only had to play 17 minutes. Then he sits to rest the back, but he is off the injury report, good to go. And we've highlighted how on 3 days rest, he's at his best in his career, 26 a game. Definitely, I mean, we don't have props up yet for him as we recorded the night before, but definitely a same game parlay candidate, I think, for like 20 and 8 from Ja. He dimes up a ton at home. Clippers defense has not been what it used to be in terms of early in the season. I mean, they've just gotten kind of some schedule breaks lately to post good defensive numbers. But they're three of their last 10 on the road here have been wins over the Kyrukaless Mavs, the Embiidless Sixers, and the Washington Wizards. Otherwise, they've lost 7 straight on the road. Ninth worst offensive rating in the league, second worst rebounding rate, and now you go up against the team with the best offensive rebounding rate in the league. and all you have is Harden against this defense, that this team that goes like 10 deep. Like, forget about the fact that Ja can blow doors off you and Bane is playing much better now. Grizzlies have so much depth, right? They're just going to come at you in waves, and those role players play better at home. So, like them to cover this pretty easily.
I'm with you on reading this team. As Harden goes, so goes the squad essentially, and that's just been the tale of two halves for him. Even when he comes out hot, and yeah, against these bad teams, they've definitely taken advantage of that over the course of their last 10. But they've had like a bottom 10 here strength of schedule in their last 8 games and their last 10 games. So there's not much to like for them. Memphis is so hot. I think they're still getting undervalued. What an easy over 44.5 wins that will be if they stay healthy, knock on wood, at the start of the season. And I also took them to get a top 3 seed in the West, also very doable. Right now, Houston's sitting in third, interestingly. But yeah, that West is interesting, especially with the Denver Nuggets looking the way that they look. So I'm going to go right into that segue, that they're going to go over in the second leg of a back-to-back at home against Phoenix. Over 232.5 is obtainable right now. I would love to take Phoenix to just cover, but this is Denver back at home, and it is Phoenix without Devin Booker. They'll also be without Grayson Allen for what it's worth, which is about worth like 13 points off the bench, and an instant score is what it's worth. So it's a lot. We'll likely see Royce O'Neal back in the starting lineup. That is not Devin Booker on offense. He's just very dependent on spot up. At the same time, Royce O'Neal being out there as a very good spot up shooter is how you want to score against Denver. And I think that's what we'll see here is sort of a tale of two defenses, right? One, you're going to see Phoenix's defense struggle to handle the pick and roll with Murray and Jokic, because they are terrible off the pull up. So the pick and roll ball handler can do what they want. I think we'll see another good game from Murray, who just finished with a pretty nice game against the who did they just beat?
The Pels in
The Pellies.
overtime.
That's right. Oh my God, I can't even remember the Pellies because they're so not memorable. Even though they scored a buck like 30 on the Nuggets themselves, which just, when you see the Pelicans score that many points against a team and they have been starving for offense, even with DeJounte and CJ out there, it just tells you what you need to know about Denver. That defense is pitiful, and in specifically against the catch and shoot, they're not a good scramble defense. You saw Michael Porter Jr. essentially benched in this last game because of how much of a sieve he was to the spot up shooters for New Orleans, such as Jordan Hawkins, who was just cooking him, absolutely cooking him until they put Peyton Watson in. So he's still going to play a bunch. You're going to see still a ton of the ability for guys to get their catch and shoot stuff, which is going to be super important in this one, like the Royce O'Neals, etc. Denver playing at the second fastest pace, dude, in the last 10 games on the season. They're fifth fastest. This is a team that is just flying and still has on the season the 17th rated defensive rating. In their last 10, they're at the 22nd rated defensive team in the league, and that's against Nate the bottom. That is a 7th easiest strength of schedule that I have listed here for them in those 10 games, that they are just giving up points to the likes of, once again, the Pelicans, for the love of God. And that includes one of those Washington games where Jordan Poole ate them alive for 39. So I think KD goes for 30 in this game, just to make that clear. I think he's going to have his way. And then Joker, I could see going for 40 and just owning Yusuf Nurkic down low. You look at the Phoenix Suns on the road. This is where you want to take them as well. They're first in offensive rating with their road stuff. Their shooting travels, I'll say that. And they're 30th in defensive rating when they play out away from their home building. Not that they're that much better at home this season. And in the paint especially, they're just going to continue to just give up whatever you want, which is why I think Jokic will just be just clowning, obviously, the likes of the Rook or Plumlee or Nurk, whoever wants to come get some. They're not going to have an answer for him. And then at the same time, they're not going to have an answer for KD off of his pull-up and his stuff. I think he's probably good for some dimes. Tyus Jones will be getting some catch and shoot. I'll be looking at his points. There's going to be some points in this game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, and they haven't even rested guys on back to backs much. The Nuggets, they come out and they play, right. They're 3-1 still against the spread, 3-1 to the over by 20 points per game. And yeah, you mentioned this Pels game. Both teams shot 30% from three. Like, there wasn't even any hot shooting. There was 134 points in the paint. It's just an
Combined.
absolute parade. You gave up 37 assists to the New Orleans Pelicans, and now, yeah, you face the Suns team. I like Beal or Durant when I see their props here. I like the fact that Grayson Allen's out because he's a very underrated defender for them.
Mm.
When you look at this over, and just the fact that there's so much pace with the Nuggets, like you highlighted. I wouldn't be surprised if Murray can't go though on a back to back, and then you get more
Possible.
Westbrook and you get an up and down game
Yeah.
where you feel even better about the over.
Yep, we're getting plenty of Westbrook whether we want it or not, baby. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of pace in this game, and I say that completely tongue in cheek because he's been a highlight for them this season. I would say playing a little bit above expectation. So we'll continue to bank on him, sort of fitting in to the offense around Jokic. I mean, you put a slasher around Jokic, you're going to turn him into and what he was. But that's all the time we have here for you in Best Bets. Definitely want to make sure to subscribe to that page. Check out the player props we have. And until we see you next, happy betting.
Slipping up.